Paintball 2 Extremes goes international with some amazing amateurs. Jen Pierce goes one-on-one with a tattooed tiger. Wow, and it's party time for two of paintball's pioneers. The IAO is where we go on this edition of PB2X. Well, all right. Hey there, everybody. The PB2X Paintapalooza 2005 Summer Tour continues. I'm James Bates. We've got a great show for you today. We've boogied all the way across the country from the Denver Super 7 to the International Amateur Open just north of the Steel City, Pittsburgh, PA. We're going to have a great time today. This is a very special event. And not just because PB2X is here, but because it's the 15th annual IAO, an event that has launched many a successful career, both on and off the paintball field. And for the next 30 minutes, we're gonna break it all down for you and show you what's going on here in PA. Ain't that right, Jen Pierce?
James, you better believe it. There's plenty to see and do here at the International Amateur Open. This is sort of a trade show, tournament, social gathering all rolled up into one, and it certainly earned its name. We have teams here from all over the world. There's your international. It's geared toward the, surprise, surprise, the amateur side of the sport. And then it's in the wide open spaces of Pennsylvania. There's your open, right? Well, I'm gonna see what I can gather around here to enlighten and entertain you guys. So James, let's get it started.
Well, all you PB2X fanatics with your VHS and DVD copies of the show from last season, go ahead, take a look back. You'll see that our first competition coverage was the 2004 IAO just outside of Pittsburgh. And if I remember correctly, it was 83 degrees, 47% humidity, and I was the one that looked like me. Now you flash back also to that same tape, and you'll see that Doc's Raiders was the winner in the novice category. See what I mean about this event being a big springboard for things to come? Well, right now, Jen Pierce is with a 2005 team that hopes to get on that springboard as well.
Comprised mainly of players from the Seattle-Tacoma area, ICD Factory team is hoping for a good result at the IAO. The players' ages run from 15 to 33 and cover a wide range of experience.
We have a couple rookies that have never played a national event. Two of them are here for the first time playing anything where they've flown out of state, something to get them into it. About 3 or 4 of us have played X-Ball, like D3 X-Ball PSP events. And then we have, locally we're considered like amateur local players.
The team practices weekly and hits a couple of tournaments each month, and that pace requires dedication.
If they're there all the time playing and getting the time in, they'll play good, and they'll play good for you. And then you mix them in with a good group of guys, some young players and some older players to back them up. It works good. It's a way to make a team.
One of the ICD veterans is Gary Gaines.
The level of progression now for young guys is just amazing from when I started playing. So they're better than I'll ever be, and they're 10 years younger. They're all good kids and stuff like that. So they don't go to bed very early, but other than that, it's great.
Old guy like Gary, he's good. They're teaching me all kinds of stuff. I mean, I've learned so much this year. It's incredible. So it's really cool to get their experience kind of down in the ranks, and it's bringing a lot of people up.
Well, the young and the old from ICD Factory made it into the Final Four of the novice teams here at the IAO, along with Tsunami, Dirt, and Great Balls of Fire.
So there you have the novice teams that'll be starring in our IAO extravaganza today, but that's not all. When we come back, we'll go to a big-time bash celebrating a decade and a half of a dynasty, and not the team, if you know what I mean. Stay right there. PB2X will be right back.
Want to stay on top of the paintball scene? Subscribe to Paintball to Extremes magazine. Get player interviews and tournament coverage in every issue. Paintball to Extremes magazine will keep you informed of the hottest players and the hottest gear. Plus, you'll get product reviews and expert tech tips in every issue. That's 12 issues of non-stop coverage for only $19.95. Call 1-800-PAINTBALL to order by phone or order online. Paintball to Extremes magazine. Get in the game.
Paintball to Extremes is brought to you by Empire, innovation, dedication, domination. By Bob Long, creator of the legendary Intimidator and Defiant markers. And by Paintball to Extremes, covering the game.
Letting the paint fly once again here on PB2X. Welcome back. It's been a busy week here at the IAO, but just the novice action, that's not all that's going on. Shoot, there's been a 3-man tournament, tech clinic, business seminars, referee training. There was even a Young Guns championship here this week. Well, no. Not the kind with Emilio Estevez and Charlie Sheen, a different Young Guns championship. But it has been a busy week. But all work and no play makes Jen Pierce a dull girl, so she went and checked out the other stuff.
Well, James, no matter how you shay it, the 15th anniversary bash put on by IAO organizer Deborah Dion Krishke was a blast. Right from the moment we arrived and were greeted by Buffo.
Ah, how's it going there? That's right, buddy. World Strong is as strong as your strangers. I can't remember which it is.
Once inside, there was fantastic food, good conversation, and an opportunity for the fans to get autographs from their heroes. The most popular room in the building housed the video game display, where, surprise, surprise, the screens were full of flying paint as players worked out their trigger fingers. Thumbs. After the dinner dishes were cleared away, awards were handed out, including the Search for Excellence Award, which went to Doc Draper. But when Buffo took to the floor to put on his special brand of entertainment, I slipped out for some more adult surroundings at the VIP area, where I ran into a good friend.
It's 15 years here at the IAO, but it's also a special 15th anniversary with National Paintball Supply. I'm here with Johnny Posterivo. Johnny, tell me a little bit about what this event is.
This event is been our showcase event for the last 15 years. Gino and Deborah have been partners in this event together as sponsor and host for 15 years. As we grew our company 15 years ago, she's grown her event into the world-renowned event that it is today. What we did this year is usually we have a party just for the industry, but this year Deborah sakes for our 15th anniversary, let's put it together with the players party, and we're like, okay, we'll have a VIP party inside the party, so you got hundreds of people here, everybody having a good time. We have the private rooms, you know, for the VIPs. We're having a great time.
All right, well, let's toast to 15 years of the IAO and 15 years of National Paintball.
And 15 years more. Paintball to Extremes.
Cheers.
All right, thank you, Jen, and what a party it was. Enjoying the party inside and outside. Here are some highlights from our semifinals here in the novice class at the IAO. You're looking at ICD and Great Balls of Fire. Indian Creek Design in the black and yellow. They took down Great Balls of Fire. Great Balls of Fire not winning one game in the semis. And now it's Tsunami and Dirt. Tsunami taking down Dirt. Looking very strong throughout the semis as they didn't lose a game. 2-0 heading into the final matchup. And now we head into the finals as we take a look at one of the finalists here in the novice class, Great Balls of Fire in green and blue. Well, one of the reasons they're here playing in the IAO is to prove that status and get matching uniforms. Dirt's looking good in the red and black. The dark jersey's on the right. Dirt can still take home this championship. And they're fired up. They know it. They've got to win here, and then they need a little bit of help in another game, but it's on right now, Paul.
Yeah, Great Balls of Fire looking at coming out of the gate really strong, trying to take the 50, take some ground on the break, try and cut down the angles and keep Dirt from getting the wires out wide. We'll see if that pays off for them.
Well, Great Balls of Fire playing well early, but not through the semis. They haven't won in a while, trying to get their first win in some time here in Butler, PA, just outside of Pittsburgh. A beautiful day for paintball, but isn't it always, PGP? Here's a big move now by Dirt.
Yeah, Dirt making it up to the 50 now. They look like they were still able to get wide, even though Great Balls of Fire took the 50 on the break. Dirt going right up the wire. Looks like they're making a quick game of this, taking the center guy out.
Wow, and then some couple bonus balls as he bends over at the waist. How about they swept him, PGP?
Yeah, Dirt taking that flag, hanging it. That was a pretty quick game. Dirt looking impressive right here.
Nice stride. They got the win they needed, but they need a little bit of help in another game. It's ICD and Tsunami. We'll have it later.
Hi, my name is Greg Rosenson, and my question for the pros is, do you like 7-man or X-Ball better, and why?
Hi, Greg. It's LB from Team Infamous. Question is, what do I prefer more, 7-man or X-Ball? I'm a 10-man player from heart, so I guess I would have to say 7-man just because there's 3 less players out there. It's not that I don't like X-Ball or disagree with the format. I like the fact that there's no coaching in 7-man, and typically the move or the good move that you make is not telegraphed by coaching or prevented by the crowd.
Well, let's just keep those questions spinning, but now it's my turn. How many players were playing in the first organized paintball game back in 1991? You give up? That's 12. What is the maximum humidity in which to properly store a paintball? You give up? That's 50%. What is the pressure in foot-pounds required to break a paintball? On the seam or off, you ask? Well, if you know enough to ask that question, then you must be a reader of Paintball 2 Extremes, the magazine. And the December issue will make you dizzy with coverage of the MPPL in San Diego, the Dukes of Hazzard scenario, and part 2 of the Ref's Domain. So get a copy today.
If you want to stay on top of the paintball scene, subscribe to Paintball to Extremes magazine. Get player interviews and tournament coverage in every issue. Paintball to Extremes magazine will keep you informed of the hottest players and the hottest gear. Plus, you'll get product reviews and expert tech tips in every issue. That's 12 issues of non-stop coverage for only $19.95. Call 1-800-PAINTBALL to order by phone or order online. Paintball to Extremes magazine. Get in the game.
All right, welcome back to, what's the show again?
Paintball 2 Extreme.
That's right, Paintball 2 Extreme. Some young hot shots and some older hot shots. A lot of hot shots here today hanging out in Pittsburgh. But maybe the hottest shot of all is my man Ben Duncan. 17.15 seconds. He hit 45 targets here at the Paintball Challenge trying to take home some big prizes. I think this one's going to be a little bit longer than 17 seconds. But the Jersey man can shoot a little bit. Ben, take a break. It's okay. You don't have to finish up, but quite a record you've set here so far.
Yes, I have. Anybody can do it. All depends on what kind of gun you have. Every gun you can get now, pretty much any kind of board you want. My board's set in auto response. They're telling me I can do whatever I want. So you want me to be as quick as possible? That's how you're going to get quick.
All right. Well, let's get quick with the line of fire now and go ask some questions for some of our pros.
Paul Kane with the London Tigers. You are captain, yes?
Yes.
How long have you been captain?
I've been captain for about 2 years now, so on and off. But now this year's like the main year that I've been captain. So.
And how long have you been playing paintball?
I've been playing paintball for about 15 years. So yeah, it's been a while.
Do you see any kind of difference between playing in Europe versus playing in America?
Yeah, there's a lot higher standard playing in America.
Yeah.
Really? Yes. We don't know what it is. I mean, we've always said the Americans have got this little edge over us, but I think it's more of a team thing.
What's the biggest cultural difference you've noticed?
Everything's further apart. Like over where I come from, everything's all crammed into one little village sort of thing. Where over here, you can drive anywhere and it looks quite similar.
Tell me about your shoes.
My feelers, my hairy feelers. They cost me £8 in a sale. And I thought I'd buy a pair, and if they kick, if they work, they work. If they don't, I can throw them away.
And they've got real fur on them.
Real fur.
Real fur. They look like camo. How many tattoos do you have?
Well, it goes from there to there. So they're all made up of.
That's all one.
Yeah, that's one big one. We've got one there, big one around my thigh, another one on the back of me. I've got literally all over the place.
How many is that?
That was 2, 3, 4, 5,
and a big one.
7, 8, 9, 10, about 25 tattoos.
Woo! Are you done?
No.
You're gonna get more?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have any piercings?
No.
None?
Not into piercings.
Don't want to go there?
No. I had my ears pierced when I was a teenager, and that's what
That
I
was
said.
about
Yeah,
it.
that's it.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Obviously, there's a lot of prestige to winning the International Amateur Open. I mean, who wouldn't want to win a trophy? But the IAO offers the competitors a little something more. Now that they've aligned with the NPPL Super 7, points won here will carry over to their overall 2005 total. And the IAO is the only feeder event that does this. So who are the people winning the points? The boys in the booth know that answer.
Well, Jen, two teams looking for those points here in this final. On the right, Tsunami, and on the left, Indian Creek Design Factory, ICD in the yellow and black. Breaking out, a little stumble there off the break, but getting up nonetheless and making it to the 50.
Yeah, that little slip on the break there could be really costly. I mean, this is the final game for all the cookies here. If you don't make your spots or lose a guy in a key game like this, it could be critical. But guy making it to the 50 here looks like he might be able to lock it down. Maybe they'll be able to recover from that.
There you see our referees on their bellies. They've always got it locked down. No difference here in Butler, PA. The novice class finals at the IAO. Tsunami ran through teams in the semifinals 2-0. ICD, on the other hand, 1-1. So if Tsunami wins here, they're going to take home that championship. Dirt, we saw him earlier in the show, take out Great Balls of Fire. They're hoping for a big ICD win. If they get that, then it comes down to the points. It gets kind of interesting.
Yeah, it looks like both these teams showing each other a lot of respect. This is the final game here. Nobody wants to make that first critical mistake. Someone makes a mistake and the other team's able to get wide on a wire and get an angle, could close it out. Both these teams really trying to lock it down here. Here you see Indian Creek trying to make a move up the center, get a little support. A nice double move there out wide. But both these teams look, again, like they're showing each other a lot of respect. Nobody wants to make that first critical mistake. That could cost them the game here.
A lot of movement on the team in yellow, Indian Creek, and not much from Tsunami. They're going with what's gotten them here, though.
Looks like Tsunami suffering a casualty here. ICD looks like they might have the upper hand at the moment. That could be big for Dirt later on.
As you know, the Dirt players are somewhere over on the sidelines checking this game out. All the great fans, a lot of great support here in Pennsylvania, just outside of Pittsburgh. Beautiful day. Enjoying this beautiful weather and beautiful sport. The world's fastest growing rec sport, paintball is. And here's some amateurs trying to take home a novice class division and move up in those NPPL rankings.
Yeah, absolutely. The International Amateur Open has been a great event throughout the year for amateur players to come and test their skills, play against teams at their own level, and have a good chance of winning some great prizes. And these guys are battling hard to see who's going to win this event right now.
Doesn't my man Paul PGP Bolenbach know it? He went to about, what, 15 in a row before your son was born, but it took having a son to miss it.
Yeah, I've been to almost all the International Amateur Opens up until my son was born, and it's a good time. It's not only a great place for the players, but it's also been a huge place for vendors to show their new product and to get together. There's been a big industry meeting there every year. It's just been a great event throughout the years.
Time to reload. Long game here in the early goings. We've seen one guy go down for Tsunami. And it's going to be a lot of paint spilled before this one's over.
You can see that Indian Creek player who got to the 50. He's kind of locking it down. He's not letting the Tsunami guys get wide, which has pretty much been his job at the 50 there, to try and hunt, make sure nobody gets wide, and keep them from getting the angles on them. And so far, he's been pretty effective at that.
7-man action here. The fairgrounds out in Butler, Pennsylvania. And the fair may come back to town before this one's over, taking their time here. There is a time limit, though, isn't there, PGP?
Yeah, absolutely. These games are 7 minutes long, and you can see here most of these players carrying a watch, checking their time, keeping a close eye on it.
We're checking our time, too, and we got to take a break, but we'll be back with the finish.
want to stay on top of the paintball scene, subscribe to Paintball to Extremes magazine. Get player interviews and tournament coverage in every issue. Paintball to Extremes magazine will keep you informed of the hottest players and the hottest gear. Plus, you'll get product reviews and expert tech tips in every issue. That's 12 issues of non-stop coverage for only $19.95. Call 1-800-PAINTBALL to order by phone or order online. Paintball to Extremes magazine. Get in the game.
Paintball to Extremes is brought to you by National Paintball Supply, #1 supplier to the #1 extreme sport. By Diablo, play with fire. And by Paintball to Extremes, covering the game.
Right back at you with PB2X at the IAO International Amateur Open in Butler, Pennsylvania. The novice class championships here. ICD in the yellow, and on the right, Tsunami. That guy's been sitting in that position for quite some time. This is a marathon.
Yeah, it is. Basically, the Indian Creek player has locked it down at the 50, and the only way Tsunami's going to get through, they're going to need to take that 50 player out. He's pretty much locked their wires down. And again, you can see both these teams showing a lot of respect, taking their time, watching the clock, but don't want to make that critical mistake that could cost them the game right here.
And cost them those so precious MPPL points. The rankings are at stake here, and for these amateur teams coming to town, it means so much, trying to move up, trying to make things happen for their organizations.
Yeah, we're coming down under 2 minutes in the game here, and Indian Creek's really going to have to do something to make this happen. Looks like Tsunami pretty much can sit back on their heels, and if this game goes time, they're pretty much going to win the event based on points. So Indian Creek's going to have to make something happen here down under 2 minutes.
And remember, Dirt sitting over on the sidelines had the big win earlier, hoping for ICD to make that big move. Somebody needs to make it soon. There's a little move by Tsunami in the back corner.
Looks like the 50 on ICD is going to try and bunker. No. Looks like he might have traded with the guy, but he's definitely gone. This could give Tsunami a huge opening here with no one at the 50 locking those wires down.
He didn't trade. Staying in, Tsunami guys behind the two tombstones there, so staying strong, the guys in the black and blue.
Yeah, it looks like Indian Creek suffering another casualty here. Tsunami with a huge advantage now. Again, with that 50 guy gone, they're going to be able to push around that wire. You see they've taken the 50 now, and they're going to be able to stretch the wires and push right up the field.
You gotta love these refs. Not only do they check you for paint, but they check you for lice, too.
They are all over them. Definitely, these refs working hard in this final game here.
And working hard as Tsunami as they...
Looks like Tsunami's taking it in. Last ICD player gone. Tsunami walking it in for the flag with a little pep in their step.
Little pep, hopping it around. Now that time limit's going to come charging down here. They better take it back. There they go. They pick it up.
He's running now.
Full sprint. How about it? And a victory sprint at that. Tsunami undefeated here in the finals. They got it. And we got them as they go down and check in with Miss Jen Pierce.
All right, Jeremy, you guys are the novice champions of the International Amateur Open. How does it feel?
It feels pretty good. We came in yesterday and we kind of choked it up a little bit on Friday, and from Saturday on we didn't lose a game.
Yeah, and you went undefeated all the way through the finals as well.
Right. We had the kids, and they're a little younger and haven't played as many events, but once they got their game on, nobody could stop us.
Well, congratulations to you guys.
Well, now that we've shown you what novice team leaves the IAO on top of the world, it's time to turn our attention to another important matter of business here at the IAO, the rookie class. And over the past few weeks, we've been keeping our eye on a contender, if you will. It's the PBX factory. What do you say we check in and see what they're up to?
Well, our PBX factory crew did it. With only 3 weeks to create a team from scratch, they have arrived, worn and weary, at the IAO.
You know, the trip down here was a good time. You know, driving down here with 8 guys is always, always fun. 5 hours squishing a car with all your gear is, it's a long drive.
After a 2 brief nights sleep, our 21-day wonders headed out to the tournament site to check out all the goodies at the manufacturer's midway. Once the official paperwork was out of the way, the crew took time to plan for their debut.
You know, you want to walk the fields, you want to make sure you have as much time and you see all the angles. We didn't get here till late last night, so we had very limited time, very limited light to walk the fields.
The team also encountered the unexpected when they discovered a slight problem with their uniforms.
We ran into a problem with orange when we got down here, so as a team we had to make a 20-minute decision to scribble out all the orange on our jerseys.
Next week, we'll see the PBX factory crew get those unis really dirty.
Well, that does it for round one of our IAO doubleheader from here just north of the Steel City, Pittsburgh, PA. Hope you guys had a good time. Don't fret none, because next week we're coming back at you rope-a-dope style, round two, ding-ding of the IAO. It's the rookie class as we go rocking and rolling with them, and we'll even slip over to the scenario side of things, a little Dukes of Hazzard scenario game. Man, I hope Daisy's there. That would be awesome if she wore them shorts, wouldn't it? But it would sting a little bit if you got hit in the thigh with a paintball. We'll have to see next week. So until next week, I'm James Bates for Jen Pierce. Take care, everybody.